We'd like to welcome each and every individual to Voices of Integrity for young men. And the reason I'm on is because I'm a young man. I'm only 60. Um, and so I'm definitely young at heart. I was talking to my friend Alvin Miller yesterday, and we were talking about, how 3-year-old boys, are adventuresome and take risk and all kinds of stuff. And he just laughed and so he's 83 and he's like, um, you and I, Mark, just have never grown up. I'm like, right. So, anyways, this is a little different. I'm watching my two of my granddaughters. Their mom was in having a baby. We're still watching for that. And so, different computer, different location, different everything. So no idea if it's even recording right or if we'll get the recording, but these are often the ones that turn out to be magical. And so if you can participate in the live session, for sure do that because that's where the real magic happens. I mean, big time. So Kenny, what would you like to accomplish today?
So, in working with new guys, people that have no experience, very little experience, I have a challenge in working with people like that because it's for me, it's like it's faster if I just do the work and then we're done. We get done faster and it's done right. I don't have to come back and do it again. And then even when trying to explain the project that we're working on, whatever it is, I have a hard time explaining it to others because I don't, for me, it's like I understand things fast. And then I think other people understand things quickly, and then I don't explain things as much as I should, I guess. Um, and then they don't understand it, and then I get frustrated with them because they don't do it right and they don't do it as efficient as they should or as they could. And rather than just helping or saying something to them, I would rather just jump in and do the work.
Right. Right. So there were 3 times in that short thing that you shared. There were 3 times that I'm like, excellent. I'm glad that's happening to him. Excellent. That I'm glad that's happening to him. Excellent. I'm glad that's happening to him. Um, so now he'll maybe listen to me.
Right. But yeah, I'm technically that's how it should be.
So the same thing you're having challenges with, those individuals are the same challenges I have with you.
Gotcha.
So no question from my perspective, you do pick up things a lot faster. You do pick up things a lot faster than the average person, without question, from my perspective. But you miss a lot, like a lot. And it's like, so in the physical world, physical labor, carpentry, plumbing, all of that kind of stuff. Um, we got a new young guy. I love working with him, Merle. And he's got, there's 12 bags of concrete, and he carries them one by one from the van all the way across the yard to where the work is being done. And I see this happening, but I don't see it happening until there's only 2 bags left. So I run all the way across the property, to get a wheelbarrow, and I get the wheelbarrow and I go ahead and run over and put the one bag left in because he's carrying the other and race it down. And he's like, I didn't even think of that. And so, for me, it's just, I don't know if it's my brain that's wired to think efficiently. Like, I'm always thinking, what's the fastest, most efficient way to do things? Or if it's my dad's training, I don't know what it is. Um, and so one piece is I'm like, oh, cool. Kenny's going to understand now the value of what I've talked to him and others about inventory where there's, 1 to 10, how good are you at roofing or carpentry or plumbing or electric? 1 to 10, and then get that rating from people when we interview them. They fill it out. Now I know what the next challenge is. One person's 10, so somebody can think they're an 8 or 9 or 10, and they are in their dimension, but there's different dimensions of things, and so I'm like, and so what they do in the military in boot camp is they shave your head, they put you in the same clothes, they break you down where it doesn't matter how athletic you are, doesn't matter how strong you are, it doesn't matter anything. I mean, smart, they just break you down to nothing. Like you are a piece of mush and you're worthless, I mean, they just break you down. So you're humbled and then they rebuild you, is what they do. And which is really amazing when you look at the military. It's like here you have people that are total strangers. Often they're on opposite sides of the track. There might be a whole bunch of racial stuff and a bunch of other prejudice and a bunch of other stereotypes. They break all that down and they put you into a unit, and then you go to war together, and you would put your life on the line for somebody you don't even like. like like the efficiencies of that. And so I've thought for years, I just want a boot camp. I want to take somebody out of the world and I want them to be in my world for a month or even a week. Like you get up when I get up, you work. Like my older kids, I don't know if I did as much to my younger kids, but my older kids, when they were not thankful or grateful to their mother or me or for their life, I saw that and I'm like, you guys are going to go ahead and, work my day or work 3 days. And man, they'd get up when I got up and they'd go to, they'd work and I'd come home after maybe 12 or 13-hour days. And they're like, Dad, we're so glad to see you home. Oh, I'm not done yet working, kids. I got another 3 hours. Oh, Dad, this is no kidding, kids. Like you little goofballs. And so one is that inventory system, that I saw. Two is the yeah, welcome to my world. Like now you and I are in flow. It's like I don't even know it's 60. So in your 20s, like I can't expect you to know something about management and leadership. And I've been doing leadership since I was 14, 15 years old, like 45 years. And I'm like, so there's an empathy, there's a like, yeah. And so that's where I think that's where community is so powerful, where you get together and you have conversations, honest conversations with people. And the accelerated learning model, I don't have a good one on that. And the frustration, do you have reflexes as soon as you get frustrated? Do you know it? And then how do you respond? So no, probably not, because you didn't reflex it just like this. And so the three elements are of frustration are what?
Expectations of myself, others, and no, it's
Yeah. So you
again,
want to get that down. It's how hard you work in that order. You work first. So how hard you work. That's the most important thing. When you get frustrated, you're at a point where you can learn and other people can learn around you if you do it right. And so it's how hard you work. It's how much you care. First thing is work. It's just hard work. So the order of these three things. So when you get frustrated, so when you're in high growth, you're going to get frustrated when you're growing. You just will. Or when other people are growing, or when they're not growing and you think they should be, or you're not sure, you're confused and frustrated with yourself and other people and the systems and everything. And so you got to go ahead and be willing to work. It's just hard work. Now, some of it's physical, a lot of it's mental, emotional, relational, spiritual, moral. Like it's all kinds of stuff. And so it's just hard work. And, my mom said to me when I was, I don't know, 15, you're going to be working the rest of your life, Mark. You better learn to enjoy it. So I don't have to work for a living anymore. I may be working harder than I ever worked before, but it's not to put food on the table. It's like, and so Alvin, he's 83, said, yeah, I think my kids don't realize that I would still be working as hard as I'm working, as much involved in the businesses as I'm involved in the businesses. And so, and then the third is your level of expectation of yourself first, and then systems other, and then others last. And so those are three things. So when you have that combination, I'm going to have to work harder. I just am. Man, I love work. Just tell yourself I love hard work, because that's what it is. It's just hard work. I mean, the preparation that this gives you for being a husband and a father, it's like, it's wild. And so then, and so you've got to get those reflexes, down, where it's like, okay, I got to kick in on the work. Well, hi, Pumpkin. I got to work harder. I've got to care more. It's okay. Can you say hi to Kenny? Say hi, Kenny. Not this morning. Not quite yet. It's a little early. Yeah, I love you. So what is hard work and what is caring? Is caring just letting the person go? Is caring confronting? Is it soft? Is it in between? There's all of this spectrum that you've got to go through. It's insane. I mean, it's just hard. So I love it that you're in my world. So now you have an empathy and understanding and say, wow, and it's only going to get worse. When I say worse, harder, it's not worse. It's just, you're just in a continued perpetual state of, humility. I think it's like, I don't know, like, man, this stuff's hard. So I think, in being honest and upfront with people and setting up the culture and say, this is how it is. When you get to know this is what's going to happen, then you can prepare somebody and say, I don't know what I'm doing, so I might be too hard on you. I might be too soft. I don't know. Adam, what were Luke's questions?
Okay, so there was the first one was how to help people with no confidence in themselves and others.
So, Luke, this is a great question. Actually, often I find that people who have no confidence are really stubborn and locked in. So, do things that you don't like doing and you're not good at doing. Do things you don't like doing and you're not good at doing, and that's where you'll gain confidence. So, I'm not a good writer and I'm not a good speaker. I gain far more confidence in doing things that I'm not good at than what I'm doing good at. We just, like, anybody can do good at what they're doing good at, what they enjoy doing and they're good at doing. So you gain confidence by doing things, that you're not good at. What's the other question, Adam?
Okay, so the second one was why is it so much easier to have significant conversation while one-on-one rather than in a group?
Yeah, great question again, Luke. So the reason is because you only have two people. You have person A and person B. When you get a third person in, man, is it complicated. And if there's more than that, it's more complicated. So you have all of these. It's not like when you get a third person in, you have person A, B, and C. it's not like 30%, 33% more complicated. It's like 300% more complicated, if not more. And so it's a great I mean, let's test that out, Luke. Let's go ahead and get together, high group of people. Let's say have a significant conversation. And as Alvin Miller said, some people you can't have significant conversations. I'm like, why? He's like, because significant conversations have some degree of vulnerability. So they have some degree of vulnerability. And, to have vulnerability, you got to have confidence. And so, let's get together, Luke, with 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 people, and then let's do a little test on it. Say, let's go ahead and let's bring out some vulnerability here. So I love that, Luke. Hope you're doing well. Glad you came in with the questions. Always remember, guys, we can accomplish far more together than we ever could on our own. Voices of Integrity for young men. I wish I had this when I was, younger. It's an amazing podcast and a group of people. So, participate, share this podcast with others, not just young men, but men of all ages, and then women too, like everyone. So always remember we can accomplish so much more together than we ever could on our own. Have an amazing day. Bye-bye.